Good day, Olgata. Name me Justin Parker. Me like talk sa oli blalo. One bill now Parliament la put him through na. It's called Gold Refinery bill. This la bill and one kind bill where lo me looking me unfair this la country because government is signing one the shareholder agreement when this la company finishes and this shareholder agreement contract long all and me got one block copy stop today. And one block copy of some line give him no me. And this la copy me looking me or something inside in a fair lo country. Me unfair through lo country na you may need lo stop him this la bill where me by bakarap me economy lo you me. This la bill suppose only passing me by appeal all kata member lo look good through lo this la bill pass time. And this la shareholder agreement me got copy long and me got some issues where me need to discuss one the Yupla, and me outline him, the Yupla by asking Prime Minister, suppose this was something he true or me yaman. To me, and this bill is one of the worst deal ever in the history of this country. It's worse than the UBS loan and any other deal that we've signed before. Worse, even worse than the oil refinery bill that you may sign into. All of these things that needs to be looked at, and we need to seriously take back PNG. And this is not take back PNG according to what I've seen. Inshallah, this bill, let me got issue long one main issue and shareholder agreement. The shareholder agreement only been signed in finish, and we talk about share distribution. Now, this is share distribution, and by 80% by going on the foreign company, mostly Australians, only starting one business a company in Singapore with some dubious all shareholders were only under trust, and we need to understand who set all the line stuff underneath the trust. So trust, me believe was some line blow you mean jealous la country too, you step inside. That's all only item I need to trust. You need to investigate them before long. You may proceed one them this la. Shareholder distribution, me no agree because we could own this 100% PNG. Okay, inside of this agreement, then we got exclusivity clause. The exclusivity clause, bro, this refinery agreement. Emi talk long lifetime blood project. Lifetime blood project, Emi was some long exclusivity agreement. Emi give more 60 years and then renewal every 30 years. Every 30 years by only renewing this contract. But the discretion lo renewal and stop long this old company lo Singapore. Na ino lo Papua New Guinea government. Papua New Guinea government but no got say whether lo renew or no got empower stop on them this company. The government by losing total control of gold because this line by only appointing man lo board according to the shareholder agreement signed and only by appointing senior man lo board and on top of this only appointing senior man lo board all two by exempt from prosecution of any wrongdoing. So even though running business go down, now the background business, all government blame lo PNG, but not karimoli go court. And only you may not get power lo karimoli go court. And you may sign him law, you may sign him agreement finish, and now some bill pass, and now by giving this power go back long all, now bill is stop long him. And we only ask him, or some this bill time only you may pass him, you may must exclude him all long any other exemption or tax. You may include him all, give more 10%, 10% corporate tax, whereas over the line pay him tax only pay him 42% now. Now only increasing go 42 from 35. Now this company for the life of the project all but pay him 10% as well, which is 60 years, 30 years renewal every 30 years forever and ever. And that to me is a curse to this country. Because suppose only pay one other taxes and they only pay 10% corporate tax. And they are also asking in that shareholder agreement, which we already signed, we have excluded them from any other tax that will apply to them. And the only tax that will apply to them is going to be the corporate tax, which they will only pay 10%. You may agree long amending Central Bank Act, whereby you may give him exclusive right long all, or deal with them gold bullion and monetary policy of PNG. They will take full control of this, So in a way, we have lost our sovereign right over this issue, and this is going once that's passed as a bill. Only asking was no law past and present and in the future will ever be made to impact this project and this bill that's being passed. So we can never change anything anymore after this bill is passed, and that's what they have already agreed. The Prime Minister has already agreed with them on this when he signed this contract at the Government House. They will have unprecedented monopoly over the market. They will dictate their price. They've asked that the government must not control the price, so they can buy at whatever price they feel is fair to them and their profit. And that, to me, is a very, very unfair, very unfair request from them, which we have already agreed and signed with in the shareholder agreement. The only thing that's going to make it legal now is the bill. Once the bill is passed, it will give power to this shareholder agreement, and that's going to be very, very detrimental to this country. You know, and also with the bill, they will, with the central bank amendment, they will control. They'll take over the legal tender for PNG. That's what they've requested, and the gold bullion powers will be given to them. And also, they've asked for immunity, so they will be immune from any prosecution, even if they do anything wrong in running the business down. We will never be able to prosecute them, because this is what we've already signed in this agreement, that they will not be held liable for any wrongdoing that they do within this country now and in the future once this law is enacted. There's a lack of consultation between the government and us, and all of this has been passed behind closed doors. The NEC was not made very much aware of it. I talked to some ministers. They said it was just bulldozed through, and they agreed to it without going into the finer details of this. So me asking you, the member now, ask him copy of the contract. You must ask him copy of the contract. You must have past time before you sign him you pass him this bill. You must understand it. You must understand what you're doing. You mean not this will enslave our children forever and ever. It's for eternity. This is a curse. It's not a good deal for PNG. The Prime Minister would be the only person responsible for the state, the interest of the state, which is open to abuse of power. And with this deal being signed, I want every member of Parliament to at least have a look at this bill properly and look at the shareholder agreement. Because once this is enacted, we might have a very hard time fixing this. And it's cleverly put together by these foreign entities for their interest against our people. Now they are going to be given the right to go na whatever price they want to pay. This is abuse of our people. Hard work. Or sweat na goal. Now we have now given them the power to abuse that. And this is really unfair. We can own this refinery 100% PNG owned. I've already organized and talked to NESFAN and POSF. You know, they're willing to come on board. Kumul Holdings, you know, we must have our own. And I agree, we must have a refinery, but it must be 100% PNG owned in partnership with our institution, funds institution in the country, and some of us gold dealers who are already in the business. We don't have to own much shares, we just own minor shares, but we must own this refinery as 100% PNG owned. It must never leave our shores. It must be 100% PNG owned refinery. And this is what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for much, but I think what has already been signed is scary. We have now tied our legs and arms of our children and expect these guys to take over everything. Tumuna blew me before. All come give me sol na tamyok, na yumi dikim gol na put him look balus blow no karim go. Now you mean all karim shla paper kam na yumi sign him. Yumi agree na yumi sign him na yumi give him gold blow yumi go. Yumi sabe na sabe money yumi talk sabe tasol. What have we signed? Do you know what you've signed? I'm asking the Prime Minister, do you know what you've signed? Do you know what you've signed? I bet you don't. If you do, then there's something wrong with you. And I'm asking you to take this back and cancel this deal. If you guys don't, I am going to do a nationwide awareness